And we should also understand that actually, in a purely competitive environment, marketing research, product development, pricing, advertising, and sales promotion, they play little or no role. So it's a competition which is basically driving everything. Thus, the sellers in these markets do not spend much time on marketing strategy. Now we'll be discussing the monopolistic competition. And under monopolistic competition, the market consists of many buyers and sellers trading over a range of prices rather than a single market price. And why this is happening? Because they are offering different value propositions. Because sellers, they can easily create difference among their products that they're selling to the buyers. So their products are so much differentiated that they can charge different prices. And because there are many competitors, each firm is less affected by competitors' pricing strategies than in oligopolistic markets. And sellers try to develop differentiated offers for different customer segments. And in addition to price, freely use branding, advertising, and selling to personal selling to set their offers apart. So here, what is happening basically in monopolistic competition, marketers are very much interested in what product, what brand, or what value propositions they are coming up. It is basically the prime focus is on the differentiation, and according to what they are offering, the different market offerings, they keep the price differently. So no matter how many competitors are in the market, it basically depends on your strategy and your vision and the kind of differentiated products that you are bringing in the market. So after this, we'll be discussing this oligopolistic competition, and what happens under this oligopolistic competition, that the market consists of only a few large sellers, and because there are few sellers, so each seller is very much alert and responsive to competitors' pricing strategies and marketing move. So they are being basically affected by one another. So here, what we need to understand that they have to change prices wisely. And in pure monopoly, what happens that the market is actually dominated by the one seller, and the seller may be any government company, for example, U.S. Postal Services, or a private regulated monopoly, a power company, or a private unregulated monopoly, for example, De Beers and Diamond. So pricing is basically handled differently in each of these cases. Now there are other considerations that we take into account. So there is this analyzing the price demand relationships. So the demand curve shows that the number of units the market will buy in a given period at different prices. So we need to take into the demand, and we should understand that we have to take into account demand while setting up the price. So demand and prices are inversely related to one another, and higher price means lower demand. So if you'll increase the price of your product, what will happen? You'll be compromising on the demand. No, less people will actually buy your product. And now let's discuss this price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity is the measure of sensitivity of demand to changes in the price. So it talks about, at times people, they're very much insensitive to the changes in the price. They're so loyal, or they have no other option, that they keep on buying the product no matter how much price has been increased. But we need to understand, many a times, even if you change a little in the price, the consumer may shift to the competitor's price, or they may start looking for a substitute. So let's look into this. Inelastic demand is when demand hardly changes with the small change in price, and elastic demand is when demand changes greatly with the small change in the price. And now we'll be talking about the other factors like economy, resellers' response to price, government, and social concerns. So we need to understand that economic conditions, they can have a very strong impact on the firm pricing strategies. We need to understand, at times the economies, they are in boom, at times they are facing recession, inflation, and interest rates. They are basically all these things, they affect the pricing decisions, and because they affect consumer spending, consumer perception of the product price and value, and the company's cost of producing and selling a product. So we need to understand that the prevailing economic conditions, they affect consumer, their spending, their buying, the product cost and price. So marketers, they must take into account these economic conditions and these economic factors while they're setting their price. And it must also understand that the price that the firm is setting may have impact on other factors or actors in the environment. For example, how will resellers react to the various prices? Firm must understand resellers' response to the prices. The company should set prices that give resellers a fair profit, encourage their support, and help them to sell the product effectively. So we need to consider what our resellers are dictating us or advising us, or what is something that is feasible for them to make profits and to help us grow in the market as well. And the firm should also take into account the government. It is very important external factor, and it influences on pricing decisions a lot. And finally, social concerns may need to be taken into account. So by this, we are ending this chapter. And good luck to you guys. And I'm going to send you an assignment for this weekend. After completing these slides, you can basically attempt that assignment. Thank you very much.